She was just 14. Alone, she rode into the lawless Wild West. Her mission? To avenge her father, bring his killer to justice. Now, follow this girl's journey of vengeance. Her father was murdered by the outlaw Cheney. Cheney also stole his horse and 2 California gold nuggets. 14-year-old Rose arrived in this strange town with her steward. She told him to take her father's body home. She would stay behind. She would avenge her father. She would make Cheney pay. After paying the funeral home, Rose was penniless. She begged to spend the night there. The owner agreed. But 3 more bodies were coming. Rose would have to share the room with the dead. 3 death row criminals stood on the gallows. By custom, each could confess before hanging. The man in the middle rambled on. Then they slipped a hood over his head. Next came the prisoner on the left. He mumbled a few words too, then a hood for him. The third was an Indian.
Would like to say,
They didn't even give him a chance to speak. All 3 dropped to their deaths at once. Rose tracked down the local sheriff. He told her Cheney had fled to Indian territory. He'd probably joined Ned's gang, that Ned's men had robbed a male coach just the day before. But the sheriff had no authority to cross into Indian lands. Only U.S. Marshals could make arrests there. And here's the catch. Marshals were short-staffed. Cheney was also low on their most wanted list. There was only one way: hire a bounty hunter. The sheriff recommended 3 men. Rose picked the toughest one, Rooster Cogburn. That he was hard-hearted, ruthless, fearless, and a total drunk. Rose found the saloon through the sheriff. Then she found Cogburn inside. He'd been holed up in the outhouse who knows how long.
No quark on my business.
And Rose's first attempt to hire him failed.
If you would like to sleep in a coffin.
At dawn, penniless Rose tracked down the horse dealer her father had bought from. She demanded a refund for the stolen horse. If he refused, he'd pay her $300 in damages. Her father's horse had been stabled there, so Rose held him responsible. The dealer didn't take the girl seriously at first, but this city girl had a sharp tongue. She threatened to take him to court. She even dropped her lawyer's name. After some heated haggling, the dealer had to pay up $320, to be exact, $20 extra. Rose also walked away with her father's saddle. Now she could afford a room at the hotel where her father had stayed. She collected his belongings. After a long, exhausting day, her eyes finally welled up with tears. The hotel was packed with folks in town for the hanging. No rooms left. That night, Rose slept in the innkeeper's grandmother's bed. The next day, Rose intercepted Cogburn right after court. She rolled him a cigarette. She told him about her father's murder, about Cheney's escape route. Cogburn saw the fire in the girl's eyes, but he still told her to head home where she belonged. Rose stopped him again. She had an ace up her sleeve. The warrant for Cheney's arrest was already issued. The government would pay $2 plus 10 cents a mile per man for bringing him in. And on top of that, Rose would add $50 of her own money as a bounty. Cogburn glanced at the girl's satchel. A pistol peeked out. He didn't believe she had $50. Rose said she had a contract with the horse dealer. She'd get the cash in a day or 2. Cogburn scoffed. No cash, no deal. Back at the hotel, Rose spotted a cowboy smoking on the porch. She asked for another night's stay. The bed with the grandmother had been too cramped. The old lady said her room had just freed up until the cowboy on the porch took it.
You're not disturbing Grandma Turner.
The next morning, that same cowboy walked into Rose's room. He said he knew her mother. Her mother wanted her home safe. Turns out, this man had been hunting Cheney for months. He was a Texas Ranger named LaBoeuf. Rose wasn't impressed. If he'd been chasing Cheney that long and still hadn't caught him, he wasn't much good. That was why her father had died. LaBoeuf wanted to team up, but Rose said she already had Cogburn. That was all she needed. Right off the bat, the 2 men clashed. LaBoeuf wanted to bring Cheney back alive to Texas for the reward. Rose wanted Cheney hanged right there on the spot. She mocked the Ranger, said he'd been outsmarted by a fool all winter long.
You give out very little sugar with your pronouncements.
Rose collected the rest of the money from the horse dealer, listening to his grumbling the whole time. Then she spent $10 on a new horse, wholesale price. Much to the dealer's annoyance, he was done haggling with this sharp-tongued kid. Rose picked out a horse from his stable. She rode it hard through town, testing its speed. She named the spirited little horse Jumper.
What does he like for a treat?
Well, man, he's a horse. So he likes apple.
Rose went to find Cogburn a third time. He was dead drunk. But this time, she had the $50 cash in hand. Cogburn immediately raised his price. Their target wasn't just Cheney. It was Ned's entire gang.
You were trying to take advantage of me.
We'll give you the shoulder, right?
The next morning, Rose geared up for the dangerous journey. She bundled up in thick clothes, put on a smart-looking hat, and holstered her father's pistol, ready to ride into Indian territory with Cogburn to get justice for her father. She went to Cogburn's hotel room. Gone. He'd left a letter for her, along with a train ticket. Cogburn told her to go home. He'd crossed the river into Indian territory already. He'd bring Cheney back to her, alone. Cogburn was probably trying to keep the girl safe. Or maybe he just thought she was more trouble than she was worth. Rose raced to the river to cross after him, but Cogburn had left a man there to stop her. His job was to take her straight to the sheriff's office. Desperate, Rose grabbed an apple and threw it at the man. Then she jumped on his horse horse and galloped toward the river. The horse was brave, the girl was braver. Together, this underage rider and her borrowed mount forged through the raging river. On the other side, Cogburn couldn't help but tip his hat to the girl's grit, but that didn't stop them from arguing. Then Rose saw something that made her blood boil. LaBoeuf was there with Cogburn. She was furious. She thought Cogburn had taken her money and run off. LaBoeuf hadn't forgotten the girl's insults from the day before. He was itching to teach her a lesson. He marched up to Rose, grabbed her off her horse in one rough motion.